When I read the first book, it hadn't yet been published, and I had no idea that it would become this.
The books were huge, and it was quite a daunting thing, because obviously you want to get it right for everyone.
I was willing to do anything. If they wanted me to sing and dance, I would have tried that, if it meant that I had the opportunity to direct the movie.
In those days, I was just a kid who had no idea what she was doing.
I was proud I got a part, and it wasn't like I got the part of Harry Potter. It was like, you know, I've got a part. I had no idea what I was getting into.
Roll, please. Rolling. Speed. Creating the world of Harry Potter. Take one.
Set! Action!
When you begin the process of making any film, there are innumerable decisions that one has to make. Decisions about the script, who your director is going to be, who are going to play the parts, who your cameraman and production designer is going to be, who your costume designer and visual effects supervisor is going to be. All those decisions are absolutely pivotal to making the film that you as a producer and the director's director want to make. And I feel we've been very lucky that at the very beginning that we made some pretty good decisions that have held us in good stead as the series has developed.
The first day of filming was at the train station, and I just remember being incredibly nervous. I didn't sleep the night before. That night, I felt all of the intense pressure of what I was about to do, and I thought, if I fail, everyone in the world will hate me forever, so it's not that much pressure. Do the sunglasses help with contacts?
Yeah, I'm going to take them off at the last minute.
Excellent. That's good. That's a good idea. Keep it on at all times.
I will.
Hi, how are you doing, Doug?
We filmed the last scene of the first film, the kids saying goodbye to Hagrid. It was incredibly exciting. I was like, oh my goodness, here we are.
165, take one, A and B cameras, common mark. Set!
Okay, and background action!
Action!
A lot of what happened on that first day is a blur, but I remember getting to the set very, very early, probably an hour and a half before I had to be there, just so I could be more awake and more alert. I felt the earlier I got there, the better chance I had of creating some sort of magic in the scene. And when I saw Dan that first day, he was very nervous as well.
It was slightly nerve-wracking.
I was terrified, mainly because that day there were loads and loads of extras. And it was the prospect of them all knowing who I was, which was quite frightening. I'm like trying to blend in. Where is he?
Door. The door.
It was so long since you last done my please.
All right, once again, right away.
I'd done a little bit of acting before, and Emma and Rupert done nothing.
So I listened to him.
Yeah.
Walk in.
Never stepped on a film set in my life, never acted professionally before, and then you walk onto this enormous set with hundreds of crew.
It's not easy. I thought it would be so much easier. I thought it would be, you know, sort of a couple of takes.
Good, Rupert.
Okay, and background.
I remember being quite nervous from the first scene. None of us had really that experience when we first started, and it was quite a scary world to come into.
My first day I was in Gothland on location at the train station, and I was really nervous, but it turned out it was quite cool.
So we all go the other end of the platform. Dan, Rupert, please.
That first day, we were trying to get Dan's eyes to be green because that's what they are in the book, and Dan was wearing contact lenses. But he was allergic to them, and ultimately we made the decision to remove them. For the first day, we tried to work through it. So for the last scene, when he's saying goodbye to Hagrid, you can see that almost his eyes tearing and his eyes a little bit swollen.
Thanks, Hagrid.
And it feels like he's about to cry. He probably was, but he never complained, and we removed the contacts, and he's never had green eyes since.
In the book, Hermione has buck teeth. We were obsessed with making Emma more Hermione-like. So in the very first scene that we shot in the film, Emma is wearing fake teeth.
Feels strange to be going doesn't it?
But we realized after the first day of dailies that we could not do that for the entire course of the picture. And we were able to cut it in a way that you really can't tell, but they're there. If you look closely enough, she's wearing false teeth in that last scene to make her more Hermione-like.
Come on, Harry.
It's almost like you want to be down here over Hagrid, and then so we're making more of a definite move as Harry comes toward the top over.
On the first day of filming, it actually sunk in that I'm playing Harry Potter, and I realised, okay, this isn't a dream anymore. This is real life.
Early on in the process, I felt that the picture needed to be purely British. And so the entire casting process began with thousands of casting tapes we received. And then we met every potential child actor, any kid who had done a school play and wanted to be in Harry Potter, we met in England.
I was about 9 when I started auditioning. I was already a very big fan of the books. When this rumour started going around my school that there were these auditions for Harry Potter and they were coming to school.
My school teacher, called Mr. Hancock, who's now left, got, I think, a letter saying if there's any kids in the school that you think could act in the Harry Potter film, would you mind them auditioning? And then I had to go through a lot of auditions.
When I was reading the books, I always felt quite a connection to Ron.
I was watching Newsround, and they told us how you could audition for the Harry Potter film. And they said that you could send in a form and a photograph of yourself. So I did that, and sent it in there, and a month went by, and still nothing happened. So I was on the internet and found out this one boy sent in a video of himself reading out a little script from the book. So I put together this little video thing and sent that off, and then I got an audition.
It was quite strange, because especially in like the canteen, there was like 20 other ginger people that sort of looked quite similar to me. So it was quite scary as well, because I've never auditioned before. It was quite a new thing as well.
We narrowed down each role to about 4 or 5 kids that we screen tested. So in terms of Emma Watson, she was phenomenal. The camera loved her. She had Hermione's sense of humor. She was sharp as a whip for an 11-year-old girl.
We had a couple of screen tests where I had to learn lines. No, I didn't say they were hard. No, they were quite enjoyable, actually.
Seeing Emma Watson's screen test, we were all in agreement that Emma was Hermione. For Rupert, for Ron Weasley, same sort of situation happened. He immediately popped off the screen. Rupert is a very shy kid, but he had this devilish, mischievous quality, and he had a face that I've never seen before. I mean, he was just unique, and his face was a wealth of all these emotions. He had a wonderful sense of humor, but also a real sense of soul. He really felt like he was one of the Weasley children, and we all fell in love with him for Ron Weasley.
So we sort of found our Ron and Hermione, but we were becoming increasingly nervous because we had a film called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and we didn't have Harry Potter. We began looking in November of 1999, before we had a director, and it was quite scary because here we were in July and we were shooting in September and we didn't have Harry.
There was a sense of pressure because everybody was talking about it. The press was writing about who's going to play Harry Potter. The studio was constantly on the phone with us. Have you found him yet? Have you found him yet? Our casting director was going crazy trying to find him.
It was interminable, you know, looking and looking and looking and not finding.
After we had looked at countless tapes and seen countless kids, I remember popping in a tape of David Copperfield, and I saw Dan's scene, and I thought, this kid really has the potential to be Harry Potter. But there was really a general reluctance from the parents.
My mum and dad both went, no, you know, that's far too much of an upheaval of his life, so he you know,